God has guided me to give you this message. So whoever needs this in their heart, please listen up. This message is brought to you thanks to the movie The Prince of Egypt, which is a movie that God has shifted my attention towards. And every time I watch that movie, I get a lot of downloads. And this time I got so many downloads. And right now God's saying, you must share. You must share. So listen up. Hold on, let me catch my breath because it's a lot to take in. God wants you to know that your prayers are being answered. Your prayers are being heard. And the reason this message came to me while watching The Prince of Egypt is he wanted me to draw my attention towards the slaves. The slaves had been praying and asking God to deliver them and to save them and free them from being slaves, deliver them to the promised land is how the song goes in the video. And he did free them, and you see it in the movie and you see it in the book of Exodus. He does free them, but he didn't do it immediately. But just because your prayers aren't being answered the way you expect them to be answered immediately does not mean that God is not listening to you. That it does not mean that he would not answer your prayers. He's just working on it. It's all going to happen in divine timing. Just look at the story of Moses. Moses was the chosen one. And how was he chosen? He was delivered into the palace, to become and to grow up as a pharaoh. So when he had to speak on behalf of his people, Pharaoh wouldn't smite him, because Pharaoh saw him as one of, as his brother. So he had some sort of sympathy and, love and care for him. So every time Moses spoke up, Ramses could have ended his life at any time he wanted to, but there was that connection, that brotherly connection, and that happened thanks to God, because God delivered him to the temple. And Moses grew up there. So God delivered his people to the promised land in divine timing. They were praying, they were happy, they were praying, they were asking to be freed, and they asked God, but God was planning it. God was preparing it. God delivered Moses since birth, from as a baby and it took years, and it didn't happen immediately, but that does not mean that God will not answer your prayer. It just means that it's going to take a while. Kind of like boiling water. Just because it takes a while to water to start boiling doesn't mean the water will not boil. It just means that the more you start the water, the longer it's going to take. So just ask, believe, and you shall receive. All you have to do is keep the faith. Just keep the faith. And another thing, not only did he answer his prayers and he freed his people, but towards the end, when Pharaoh began chasing them and the things got hard, God didn't forget about his people then either. So God's telling you, even when the situation seems like a dead end, God will make things happen. God will clear any obstacles in your path in order to make your dreams come true, in order to answer your plans. All God wants you to do is have faith and ask him. Include him into your lives, include him into your heart, include him into your soul, include him into your plans. Okay? Speak to him like you're speaking to a brother. Speak to him like you're speaking to a father. Speak to him as if you're speaking to a friend. Tell him, this is what I've gone through. These are my guilts. These are my resentments. Ask for forgiveness if there's anything you want to be forgiven for. And then tell him and include him in your plans and why your plans to come into fruition. And God will help you. And ask him for guidance. Ask him for wisdom. Ask him for help in any way, shape, or form. And God will be there for you. And your prayers will be answered in divine timing. Okay? It's just not going to happen overnight. Water doesn't boil immediately. It's going to take time. It's going to happen in divine timing, but he's asking you to keep the faith, and he's asking you to just keep there. And if you see things getting slim, and if you see the situation and obstacles, he will clear the path. He will part the Red Sea. He parted the Red Sea for Moses and his people. He can do that and more in your life. All you have to do is believe. So I hope this message reaches the people that need it the most. Love and light, guys. Keep the faith, and God bless you. I love you.